Leah Remini is leaving her husband after 3 decades together, but their love story isn't as crystal clear as everyone thought. Leah ruined her husband's first marriage by forcing him to pick between her and his wife and newborn baby. On top of this, these two had to deal with that religious cult together, which put a lot of strain on their relationship. Now, 10 years post Scientology, their marriage has come to an end. So let's get into it. Now, I was under the impression that we love Leah Remini on this channel for exposing that nasty cult that we all are scared of, especially me living here in LA. But I want to give you guys some recent updates on her situation because it looks like she is splitting from her husband just 10 days after her BFF Jennifer Lopez filed for divorce. Reports write that Leah Remini has officially filed to divorce her husband, and it looks like she's taking cues from her on and off again friend Jennifer Lopez because she did it without a lawyer. Leah Remini and her husband Angelo are going their separate ways after 30 years together. They actually announced this in a joint Instagram post, which is so 2024. They were quoted saying, "We both changed as people do, and we got used to playing roles that didn't fit us anymore." Now, you guys might remember Leah Remini and her husband because they had a reality show together. They had specials that aired on VH1 and a TLC series, It's All Relative, which comment below if you guys have watched any of those before. I definitely watched her Scientology piece, but these series made them seem like a typical couple despite being so entrenched in Hollywood. Let's go ahead and react to a clip from their show so you guys can get an idea of how they were together. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about how Leah broke up his previous marriage and family to go and seek out this married man.
I can see your penis.
Leah Remini.
Huh? I have an issue seeing men's parts in their clothes.
This is so weird. Is this really where TV has gone? It's giving like the new Alec and Hilaria Baldwin series on TLC. Is this funny to them?
You think that women like that?
Why not? I want to see. What do you
you're
say?
gonna see it because you can see the whole outline of your penis,
that is
and it looks
disgusting.
weird, babe. So you think your girlfriend, you walk out with your sweatpants on, or you're going to get a bagel.
Actually, you know what? She might be wrong on this one. From what I've heard, the reviews in LA are in. I think people like the gray sweatpant print. So imagine this, you're out grabbing a coffee, maybe running a quick errand, and then out of nowhere, bam, you're in a car accident and now you've got medical bills adding up like a bad to-do list. And no surprise, the insurance company is giving you the runaround. It's like, really, can I catch a break? Sadly, this happens way too often. You've got these firms that promise you the world and leave you buried in paperwork and stuck with those low-ball settlements. That's not right, but it doesn't have to be your story. Enter Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. These guys are like the Avengers of legal help. With over 1,000 attorneys and offices in each state, they've got the muscle to take on big insurance companies and fight for you. And let me tell you, they don't mess around. Just this year, they locked in a $26 million settlement in Philly, 40 times the insurance offer. So clearly Morgan & Morgan is the firm you want fighting for you. Plus, it's super easy, no appointments, no stuffy meetings. You could submit everything they need right on your phone, and it doesn't cost you a dime unless you win. So if you've been injured or you know somebody, don't wait. You can go to forthepeople.com/Sloan, or you can check out my link in the description below. Remember, it's all free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan has your back because they're for the people. Thank you for sponsoring this video and enjoy. Now, I want to get into how these two got together because it is so messy. To give you guys an overview, they met in 1996 at a club in Hollywood called El Florida, which I wonder if that's still around. It sounds like a fun name. Now, Leah says they had love at first sight, but it was way more complicated than just that because this man had a whole other family and a newborn baby that she had to convince him to leave. But I think there's something eccentric about this couple. I mean, keep in mind in 2013, after spending 30 years together in the Church of Scientology. I say their name that way because I am genuinely scared of them. I've been to their location in Hollywood and Florida. It's a real place, it's a real cult, and it's really scary. You can see their employees in live action go and recruit people on the street who are vulnerable and have no idea what they're getting involved in. Either way, Leah and her husband had a realization in 2013 to exit. Essentially, what pulled the couple away from the church was the church's involvement in their daughter's life. Because she always said family first, but it wasn't family first when the church was going and threatening their daughter. Now, by 2015, she released her memoir, Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and this Church. Of course, Angelo was super supportive of his wife, and thank God they had each other, because a lot of couples, they end up divorcing at that time when the church kind of splits them up. But they stayed together then. Nonetheless, it didn't last long, because now we're in 2024 and they're over. And even though Leah had left the church over 10 years ago, she is still dealing with a lawsuit involving them, claiming that religious leaders have retaliated against her with a campaign of aggressive harassment and mob-style operations and attacks, which again, I'm not surprised. I've seen them work in like groups, like even like this old guy, and like, you're like 75 years old. Like, why are you looking over my shoulder trying to look at my phone? I'm looking at Instagram. Like, I'm just here like checking out the protests. Like, I'm not like some secret spy. They're all like so paranoid. It really actually aggravates me. Let's hear Leah talk about this in her own words.
Your book points out some of the most intense things that go on in Scientology, but a lot of religions have this weird cultish kind of crap going on, but people kind of keep quiet about it.
The difference is here is you're required to pay a lot of money. It costs a lot of money to be there.
Which is so wild, because like I think the typical church is like what? They say 10% of your income. I mean, in this economy, please. But there you like stifled your money through the church. And I feel like it's a way for them to avoid paying taxes. Like, and even their high income earners not paying taxes because they donate it all to the church, and the church doesn't have to pay taxes because it's a church.
And also what's required of a Scientologist, which, you know, I credit them. It's not an easy thing to be a Scientologist. You're required to be there 2.5 hours a day.
It's a huge commitment.
It is, financially, emotionally.
Now, I believe in grit. I think I could work towards a long-term goal, but going into Scientology and committing all that time, my ADHD would never. Moving on from the church, I want to talk about how Leah got her man, because I think it speaks to how they've ended. I mean, it wasn't an easy beginning. Leah Remini played a brash and rude housewife on TV. This article goes in. The off-screen former sitcom actress was manipulative, spiteful homewrecker who could have played the stepmother from hell. I feel like one of Angelo's exes wrote this, one of his baby mamas. Leah went so far as to pit two mothers against each other, threatening one that she would never ever see her child again. As she lashed out in pursuit of a married actor she described as so effed up he was perfect for her. Wait, that is such a weird comment. Leah said, oh, this guy's so effed up, he's perfect for me. That is like demon behavior. This article continues. The married man that she sought is her now husband, Angelo, a part-time actor and lounge singer that Leah called the Cuban Frank Sinatra. And in the words of who knew her, she saw him, wanted him, and she wrecked a family to get him. Now, again, these are some former friends giving us quotes. I do think that Angelo's also responsible. It's not like Leah can do some mind control, but this friend said that she went after this relationship with venom and force to try and destroy this marriage. And what's worse is they had a small child. Years before he met Leah, Angelo had Alex and Nico with his then girlfriend, Elaine. Then in 1989, when the boys were 1 and 3 years old, it looks like Angelo sued Elaine for paternal rights. The judge actually gave her full custody and ordered Angelo to pay child support, so it did not work in his favor. 3 years later, Angelo married Raquel Williams, and in 1993, they had a son, Angelito. At that point, Angelo was struggling, and he was trying to make ends meet by singing at local clubs. And that's when Leah saw him at the club and she liked him. She fancied him. She decided, you know what, I'm gonna come back next week at the same exact time. Leah returned to the club the following week, later admitting that he was her target. She soon learned that he was married, but later said she recognized him as a cheater. In fact, she wrote at the time that he told her that he was kind of married. How are you kind of married? Now let's talk about how Leah went in for the kill. She told him that they were not only going to get intimate right away, but they would be getting married at some point. This person goes on, that's the kind of person Leah Remini is. She sees something she wants and she'll go to any length to get it. Now in her memoir, she admits that she realized that she was destroying a marriage. Her church actually had zero tolerance for unfaithfulness, and the church actually helped her do everything she could to make up the damage and set the matter right. She writes that she arranged counseling counseling for Angelo and Raquel, and soon saw the two holding hands like newlyweds. She met Raquel in person but couldn't bring herself to make an apology. Now, 6 years after inciting the affair, Leah admitted that she had manipulated Angelo into leaving Raquel. She detailed that Angelo had paged her. I called him back and he was trying to sweet talk me. I knew that if I acted like I was over him, it would force the issue. I said, look, if you're going to leave her, leave her. If you're not at my house today with your bags packed, you can go F yourself. I knew this would push him to do it, and he did. But also, at that point, like, you don't want to be toyed around by a man, especially 6 years after the fact. Angelo sued Raquel for divorce in May 1997, and Leah paid all the legal fees for the divorce and the court filing over his children. Leah actually announced her new boyfriend as all the proceedings were pending. That got the attention of Star Magazine, who contacted Raquel for a comment on the news of Leah and Angelo. Raquel said she wanted him and wasn't going to stop at anything to get him, which is pretty aggressive. She added, she has no idea what it's like to be a wife and a mother betrayed by your husband. Leah didn't care about destroying a family. She brags about Angelo, but what she's not telling fans is that for 2 years, she was a married man's mistress. I do have criticism for how Leah operated here, and I do think she tries to rewrite the narrative because it's not a good look.
We're so defined by these things, you know. Is it a successful relationship? Is it a successful path of... it's successful for the time it's supposed to be successful. Yeah. That's with anything, you know what I mean? It's like, if you're happy, great. That's what matters. Once it doesn't give you happiness any longer, if you have the chance to do something else, you should. You should take a chance, you know, in life. If you're not happy at your job, you don't have to do it tomorrow, but you take little steps towards your happiness.
This person commented, Leah is best friends with J-Lo so they can be divorcees together. Oh, that's nice. They can at least bond over this. This person wrote, this and Jack Hewan's divorce makes me scared. I cannot imagine living with someone for decades and then divorcing, which is really scary too. I wouldn't have problems if you're leaving this person who's, you know, abusive or toxic, but if the relationship is fine, that's hard to move on. This person wrote, I need J-Lo and Leah to become BFFs again. Imagine the single best friends Instagram content. This person wrote, even though J-Lo would probably never do it, I would watch a show of those two traveling the world together and being pampered and having companionship. That is actually kind of a great idea. It looks like in May of this year, the New York Post reported that Leah and J-Lo had rekindled their friendship. I wonder if they spoke about the divorce stuff before everyone knew. I'm sure they did. Especially because Leah was never a big fan of Ben's. She actually didn't even show up to their wedding. And this headline reads, newly single Leah Remini warned J-Lo about Ben Affleck before falling out with the singer. Sources told Page 6 in May that Leah reconnected with J-Lo, and it looks like they had a falling out over her marriage to Ben Affleck. According to The Insider, they got into a fight before J-Lo's wedding in 2022, and it's all over Leah's concerns over Ben. I think there's a lot of concern on both people's parts. Like, that's a pretty bad sign if, like, J-Lo's family and friends, Ben's family and friends, like, everyone's against this entire marriage. Why are they going through with it?
So now we know that Leah Remini and J-Lo are both getting a divorce at the same time. Dare I say, this is going to be a hot girl fall. Look at their matching nails in this photo, okay? They are going to take burgundy red nails and they are going to sip on their Lola spritzes. Yes, that's J-Lo's drink brand because it's hot girl fall. I just know when these two get together, the New York accent gets thicker because that's what happens when you're from New York or New Jersey. When you get around other people in New York and New Jersey, it gets thicker. You go from saying, I want coffee to I want coffee. You know what I mean? Anyway, I just feel like not enough people are talking about it. Brazil, Morocco, London to Ibiza. Put your hands up. These ladies are going to be traveling. I'm predicting it now.
I love that mentality when it comes to divorce. I mean, it's not the end of the road for you. It could be the beginning of something new. And while J-Lo has really beaten her reputation with, I was going to say beat a dead horse. I don't even like that saying. Because I like the horse, you know, I like a horse. I've never been on a horse though before. Either way, J-Lo could use some reputation saving. And while I don't think Leah's like the most liked person, she's definitely not disliked, right? I don't think so. People like still stan her for standing up against that cult, which good for her. I mean, she's forever a hero for that. Maybe not for ruining that marriage, but you know what? Her and J-Lo, they both have their pasts, and I think that could be a good move for them. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in a new one soon. Bye, guys.